So this is your time this evening then. Take some nice deep breaths and get yourself into a comfortable position, free of all distractions. Might want to just move, shake out your muscles a little bit, stretch, put your feet on the floor. Let go of some of the tension. And just before we start going into meditation, I want to set the intention. So I'm going to ask that our spirit guides, our loved ones who love us, as they come close to us this evening, as we blend in meditation, I'm asking that everything that is done in truth, love and light. I'm asking that a protection be placed around each and every one here this evening as we connect together in a web of light and love, seeking higher knowledge and truth. I'm asking that all those in the spirit world who come close to us do so with our best interests at heart and with the highest of intent. Okay, so as we take in the deep breaths, let in light on the in-breath and exhale all of your stresses and strains, your worries and care. Just allow all the anxieties of the day ebb away. As you focus on sound in the room, sounds outside, getting yourself into the now, I want you to ask that your spirit guides and those that love you in spirit take care of everything that you hold dear to you. Your loved ones, material concerns, financial concerns, that you are responsible for, just to let those in spirit take care of that now for you, so you can just let go of that and just be in this moment with us here. We're going to rise our awareness and consciousness up higher into the realms of spirit so that we can connect up to the higher realms of the spirit guides. Now they exist in different dimensions, the spirit loved ones, just based on the maturity of their soul growth. It can be harder to sense and feel them sometimes because their energy is more subtle, because it is a higher frequency. However, when they want to come close, they're extremely powerful. Spirit guides can be a little elusive, and they show you what they're ready to show you, so we can never demand from them, we can only ask. Anticipate much, expect nothing. So what I want you to do is just visualize that at your feet there is a light. Maybe there's a candle placed down in front of you there, wherever you're sitting in your rooms, with flickering light. I want you to imagine the flickering light of the flame of the candle comes towards your feet, and it's warms your feet, taking away any stresses and strains. So we're going to light bathe now so that we can open up our energies. Breathe the light of the candle flame into your feet, around your ankles, it coming up around your calves. Now the light of the candle flame to come up around your knees as you visualize and you feel. Remember, don't worry if you can't see clairvoyantly. Clairvoyant just meaning clear seeing or clear vision. Remember to feel, use your clairsentience, sensing. Just allow yourself to feel the energy, the light, the warmth of the flame. See the warmth of the flame if you can, or just know that by following my voice, just setting the intention that this is happening. So as the light comes up around your thighs now, and the candle flame's light settles into your legs, it's going to bring balance, healing, rejuvenation, and replenishment. It feels absolutely lovely just to sit in the warmth of this candle flame wrapping itself around you like a blanket, keeping you secure and safe. Have no concerns, let go of all fear, and then pull the light of the candle into the bottom area, the area of what's known as the base chakra. As the candle flame meets the base chakra here, you might see that a red light goes down towards the ground as this center opens up for you. Or you may feel the energy expanding. Just be aware of it. And if you feel you need to bring light in to bring about healing, rejuvenation and replenishment, allow the light of the candle to balance. And then see the light of the candle coming up around the bottom of your torso, and as it does so, it blends with the area of your sacral chakra, which is just below the belly button, often seen as an orange color. The light of the candle blends with the sacral. An orange light can shine out in front and behind you like a cone. Then let the candle light do the same here. It's going to bathe you in light, clearing away any negativity, stickiness, shadows, patches, bathing you in the light and cleansing your energy field. Then draw the light up again. See it coming up around the middle of the torso, blending with the solar plexus, the area just above your belly button, commonly seen as a golden yellow light, vortex of energy reaching out in front and behind you. Remembering the solar plexus is the seat of the ego, where we feel all our emotions, where we hold any tension, anxieties, or fears and concerns. We're going to let them all go. Just let the candle light take away all your earthly concerns. We live in a world of duality. There is always as much good as there is bad. But in this world, we're often focusing on the negative. So during this meditation, we're going to focus on the positive, that we do not need to fear. To draw the light of the candle up further now, see it coming up around the top of your torso, blending at the area of your heart, expanding out the heart chakra. You might see green or pink light. You may just feel energy here at your heart center reaching out. Heart is that amazing organ. It has an electromagnetic field of up to 2 meters in front and around you. Studies show that the heart intelligence is more or quicker to receive the environment, it's more receptive to, quicker to receive the environment than even the brain. Your heart has an intelligence of its own. It knows when it's under threat, it knows when it's safe, and it's communicating back to the brain all the time. So as you let the light of the candle settle into this area here, let go of all that you fear. Let go of all heartaches. Just allow the light to carry away pain you may have experienced. A lot of people feel if they hold on to pain, they won't forget, or they will protect themselves in the future from what has happened to them in the past. They also feel if they've lost a loved one that they've got to hold on to the pain, because to let go of the pain, to let go of their loved ones. Your loved ones in spirit exist in unconditional love. Spiritual dimensions, they cannot die. And actually holding on to pain doesn't serve you or them. They sense, they feel, they know how your emotions are. So it is possible to carry sadness, we carry memory, we carry the love and the grief without carrying the pain. Just to honor their memory, but to also understand that they are there with you always, that you can never, ever be separated, because love creates an energetic bond. Just in the same way as we would just send a text over to somebody. That information, heart to heart, is there eternally. Can't be broken. You cannot lose the love of your loved ones, and they cannot lose the love that you send to them. By opening up the heart center, you open up the bridge between the two worlds. You raise yourself up into higher consciousness. You make different choices in life. You're more compassionate, become more aware. We're moving in our world now into a more heart-based society. It's very much head-based. So I want you to create a bridge between the two worlds by sending out your love to those in the spirit dimensions. I'm going to include the spirit guides in that. I want you to know that unconditional love flows to you. You are love, and you will always be love. So now I want you to draw the light up further, see it coming up into your throat center. Know that you are free to speak your truth with compassion at all times. Nothing you can ask in a spiritual environment is silly, too simple, too basic, or too advanced, too weird, wonderful, or woo. The whole point of expressing and asking questions is to learn and to grow. Many of us are frightened about expressing our love to others for fear of frightening off, or feeling over the top, or in expressing our love and being rejected, suffering pain. As we sit together here, we are a group of light workers. So bring the light into your throat, that you are able to express yourself clearly. I want you to bring the light further up. See it coming around the back of your head. The back, at the base of your skull there is a tiny, tiny underdeveloped chakra point known as the Zil point chakra. We're going to focus the light there just for a minute, just to help expand this. The wisdom of God. It's the wisdom of the source of everything, your universal consciousness. It's where you receive insight and knowing at a much greater level. Then we're going to bring the light up around your face, see it coming up to the area of your third eye, to the brow center, and let the candle flame just melt away all of your thoughts, all of the computer-like analytical churning over of everything that you need to do, the conversations you need to have, your to-do lists, everything that stops you from falling still and being able to pay attention to the environment around you. Let your brain relax. It's a lovely feeling as you let the light of the candle in here. You may see colours forming in front of you. You may feel as if an eye is opening up in front of you. As the pineal gland becomes stimulated, you may feel a drawing sensation between the eyes. You may feel nothing at all. This is all fine. Let your body do. It knows what to do best with the energy you are pulling through it. Now I want you to take the light out through the top of your head, opening the crown center as we do this, reaching up into the heavens with the light, connecting you in with universal consciousness, with source love, the great spirit that permeates all life in this universe. And then see that light going up into the heavens, into space, and then coming back down around you. And as it comes down around you, it is also joined with the light of the spiritual realms. so that you are surrounded in purity, in love and light. As that light comes down to your feet and this process starts again, for the rest of this evening as you sit, you will be cleansed, you'll be bathed in light, you will have healing energies going through your whole being, and you will be expanding your energy, cleansing, releasing, tearing down old thoughts that don't help you anymore, and expanding your mind to new ideas. Now, as you look at the light coming out through the top of your head, I want you to visualize or imagine that you are floating now, your spiritual body floating up through the top of your head, going up towards the heavenly realms, up into space, and even higher still, going into the void. And as you float into nothingness and you feel the lightness that this brings with it, you then can journey into the spiritual dimensions. And just as you're in the void, in the nothingness, see a pinprick of light. As you focus on the light, notice that it is expanding, a small dot into a bigger dot, into a circle, into a sphere of beautiful white light. And as you travel towards that white light, you enter into the spiritual dimensions, high up into the realms of the spirit guide. It's almost as if you're in a bubble, floating into the most beautiful realms, completely free of all weight. The body is healthy. And as you look, you can see this is your astral body. If you were to take a look at your body, perfectly young, healthy, vibrant, free. And as you float into the spiritual dimensions of life, as you look, you can see the most beautiful colours. The nature around you, the flowers, trees, greenery, may even be buildings off to the distance. Take a look at what part of the spirit guide's level of reality you have entered into. See the rainbow colours, higher frequency colours, colours that you don't even see on the earthly plane. And notice how everything is vibrant and alive. Every flower, every insect, even the buildings, they're all humming with a vibration of aliveness. Almost as if they're playing their own song. Complete oneness, spirit of everything. You are at one with all of this. And as you glide across this beautiful landscape, you spot an area where you feel particularly drawn to, where you want to gently float down. And as you come closer to this place where you want to stop, there waiting for you is one of your spirit guides. Got a lovely smile on their face. They can't wait to join you, be with you, to welcome you home. Their home. They knew you were coming. They knew that you would be guided here. And I want you to notice where it is that you have disembarked. What does it look like around your spirit guide? Get a sense of time, history. Can you feel or sense period of time that this spirit guide would have walked the earth? Are they showing you what they look like? Can you see their costume? Can you feel, if you cannot see, can you feel the immense amount of unconditional love that the spirit guides bring? A sense of power and authority, and yet there is no ego. Fully balanced between masculine and feminine energy, your spirit guide can just be there for you, present in the moment. And as they welcome you, you are engulfed in their unconditional love. You are not judged, but they know you. Your spirit guide is wanting to get to know you, is excited about showing themselves. Because you're putting in the work, you need to go to them, to dedicate your time to spiritual practice, to open your mind in order to reach them. And yet the irony is they're with you always. Anytime you send out a thought or ask, they'll be there. So this spirit guide has a gift for you. You're asked to put your hand out. I want you to see what the spirit guide puts into your hand. This object is something to do with the relevance of your spirit guide for you. The gift they give you may have meaning. If you don't understand the meaning, it's okay to ask, why have I been given this? What is it showing me? This guide is trying to reveal to you a little bit about themselves. They want you to bring this gift back with you so that you always have it. If it's something that you can replicate in the physical world, then maybe you might want to find the gift that they've given you and be able to use it, hold it, or look at it. Be reminded of this spirit guide so that you can call their energies close to you. Your spirit guide is here to teach you, reveal an element of themselves to you, because there is something that you need to learn or grow from them being close to you. They're male, are they female? Do they have a particular role? We're going to see whether they can give you a name. Now, if you don't get anything, don't put any pressure on yourselves. It can take quite a long time to establish a relationship with spirit guides because they're existing in higher frequencies. Sometimes we just catch a glimpse of them. Sometimes we just have a quick inner knowing. Just know it's because you are having to tune into them as much as they you, and it can take time. But all the time in the world, they will be helping you and working with you always. As you feel the love of this spirit guide filling your whole soul, you feel the intention on their behalf. They try to show you what they are coming to show and teach you, why you need them in your life right now. Take a moment to absorb everything they are giving you. And I want you to know, particularly with spirit guides, a lot of the information we receive isn't even conscious. So even after your meditation, you may find that insights are dropping in because they have been placed in the subconscious and they rise up to the conscious. So your spirit guide lets you know that you can come to this place whenever you want. Because they want to be with you, to look after you, to protect you, to guide you, to teach you, they're going to help you return. So as you now have to return back from this meditation, your spirit guide can raise up from the place where you are and journey with you, help you to float back across the beautiful landscape from which you travelled, back towards the small circle of light, the dot, before we entered the void. There are many dimensions in the spirit world. They look very different. Some looking like earthly realms, some looking like realms you have never seen in your life before here. But somehow there's a familiar feeling of home. So I just want you to take in that lovely feeling as your guide travels with you back towards the light, feeling that sense of homeness, knowing that you can never truly be lost. You are always found, and you've only got to focus in on that light and the love that is yours to know that you can get home whenever you choose. And as we go back towards the light now, see that dot of light, as that white light that was expansive, you travel through it with your guide, and as you look behind, you can see that that doorway to the spirit dimensions is beginning to close. The light goes back to a pinprick, and then once again you are floating in the void. Never alone though, never in the darkness. Your companion, spirit guide, lovingly protecting, nurturing and caring for you. An old friend, someone who has your best interests at heart and would never hurt you. Gently guide you into the space, into the stars, into the universe, into the material world again, back towards the earth, through the earth's atmosphere, into the earth's sky. And then your spirit guide helps guide you back down towards the home where you're sitting, into the room where you are, helping your spirit come back down through the top of your head, that you float back down into your body. You can feel yourself coming into the physical body, whilst the guide protects and looks after you. And I want you to feel your bottom on your chair and your feet on the floor. I want you to feel that your spirit has come right back into your body. Feel your lungs filling with air as you inhale and exhale. And I want you to see that the light that was out in the universe through your head is coming back towards your body, so that the light that you have sent out and expanded out everywhere draws back to your physical body, so that you can bring your energy back for everyday levels. See the light that went out through your head coming back down through the body, back down through your feet, out into the earth. And I want you to lastly just blow the candle flame out of the candle that you visualized in front of your feet. This is just so that you bring yourself back to a more grounded level. Even though we are talking from here on in and you'll be focusing on the spirit world and the questions and answers that you hear, just know that you, during this meditation, have been brought back and grounded, that you are safe. The spirit guide will watch over you, making sure that you're safe right the way through till we end this evening. But for now, I want you to bring your attention back to the sound of my voice, the sound of the music, the sounds around you. Remembering what you've experienced, any insights you gained, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Come back to the room fully. That was a bit abrupt, sorry about that. That'll bring round anyone who hasn't finished. Okay, but you all looked to me like you were all moving around, which is why I was going to turn the music down. So the nice thing about doing this is that obviously you can get to just relax in your own home and enjoy something like that. But I'm hoping that you all had a little experience there. Remember, if you see anything, you might just get a fleeting insight or a fleeting feeling. It doesn't matter if you haven't had a full Technicolor meditation, because many of us find it difficult to still our minds or to follow meditation. So for, you know, that was half an hour. So that's a good length of meditation there to sit and focus. But obviously with any kind of spiritual development, the more you sit, follow a visualization, follow a guided meditation, the more you start to train the brain to just be disciplined, fall still, and then the spirit world can get little glimpses of insight in. I'm sure many of you will have felt you were making it up. There'll be times when you'll be questioning, was I really seeing this? Is this my imagination? Was that really a spirit guide? All of the norm. That means that you're sane and that you're questioning. And just know that in order to develop mediumistically or to develop a connection between yourself and the spirit world, there comes a point when you just have to go with the very first thing that comes into your mind and trust it. So if you saw something in the meditation, if your gift that you were given was something you wouldn't be expecting, for instance, and there it was, this is when you can start to trust what you're getting. And remember, it's a collaboration. You are visualizing, you are imagining, you are following my visualization, and at the same time, those in spirit are joining you. It's a creation, a joint creation between the two worlds. And just like if you were to experience spirit in the dream world or in journeying, as the shamans call it, you are using that aspect of your consciousness to connect into the non-physical aspect of life. And when you think most of us spend most of our time asleep, half of our life asleep, 8 hours a day or whatever, half of the life that you have spent is in the realms of imagination, the consciousness realms. Who's to say that that's any less a true reality than the physical reality? Okay, so the more you get comfortable with this kind of thing, visualizing, creating, not only does it enhance your earthly life, your work life, your creativity, your ability to focus, but it's helping you to develop that connection. So obviously I can't go around and ask you all what kind of meditation that you had with your spirit guides, because we haven't got the luxury of that. But if I was to teach a workshop on spirit guides, this is the kind of thing we do. And then we'd go through and we'd find out from everyone what kind of objects you got. And then we would decipher the symbolisms and we would really get into the depth of the knowledge that's coming through. But this is a whistle stop tour tonight. So if you got an image, does anyone want to just I'll take from one person, did you see something? Did anyone get given a gift? You can put your hand up if you got a gift. Okay, Christy, I saw yours first. Just quick, are you unmuted? What did you get?
A really small silver bell.
Okay, lovely, perfect. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that you might see. So the skill, if you want, is in learning that the spirit world communicate to you in symbolism. So bell, first of all, for me, ding ding ding, when you ring a bell, it's a very spiritual thing anyway, because it's calling Christy's attention. The bell is like, ring for me and I will be there. It's allowing Christy to know that if she rings a bell in physical world, then this particular spirit guide will come to her. The fact it's silver is beautiful, because silver is a very high frequency color ray, and it denotes the higher wisdoms, in fact. So this is a guide, Christy, that would be coming in with higher knowledge, higher insight, probably teaching ability, probably connected with your mediumship, and you can ring the bell, get the higher knowledge, the wisdom, the higher frequency, because there's the silver ray, okay? So to me, bell is also frequency. So as you get, because it was little, it's going to make a very high sound. Now, so that is higher frequency. And any time that you get sound frequency and waves, which is what the whole universe is made up of, you're tuning into that higher realm of spirit there where the guides are. So they're showing you sound, they're showing you color, they're showing you just the way that, you know, just in that little symbolism, there's so much knowledge just in what you've been given there by that spirit guide. Never mind anything else that you saw to do with how the spirit guide looked, the time period, the feeling you got, the sex of the guide. Do you see what I mean?
You've never seen this one before either.
Lovely. And you get, but now I'm going to lead on to this anyway, but you get different kinds of spirit guides. So the reason I'm just deciphering Christie's for her is because I just want to show you how you work with them, okay? So if you get shown imagery, color, sound, it doesn't always come in words. It doesn't always come in, I'm here to teach you this and my name is, okay? You might get flooded with an emotion. You might just feel completely engulfed in love. You might see an image. You have to learn a new language when it comes to spirit communication. And that is not communicating as we do in the physical body, because you have body language cues in the physical world that you don't have in spirit. Is that helpful, me describing that? Yeah? Okay.
Definitely.
So now, spirit guides then. Did everybody see one? Have we got any no's? Not putting anybody on a spot. Okay, don't worry. Now, sometimes they show themselves as frequency and colour. So some people see spirit guides as rays of light. And here's what we have to do, is not put our expectation on what we think we're going to see. And a lot of times, and I'm one to talk because obviously my spirit guide presented himself as Native American. But, you know, a lot of times you hear this commonly with mediums, Native Americans, nuns, and there's a lot of time we can put almost expectation on it. And I've tackled White Feather on this and said, why did I have to have a Native American imagery given to me? Everybody has that. And his answer was, because you're doing spiritual work. So the person guiding you is somebody who has spiritual knowledge and has walked the spiritual path. So it obviously does make sense that people doing spiritual work might attract to them a spiritual teacher like a nun or a shaman or a spiritual, you know, Tibetan monk or whatever it is. It makes sense because they're understanding your pathway. Whereas somebody else, a car mechanic, probably has someone who's great at engineering, but that car mechanic might not be spiritually aware. They're not going to sense they've got a spirit guide that's doing engineering. You know, so they're going to show themselves to you in ways that you can, one, perceive, and two, understand. So if you see colour, don't just dismiss that, because spirit guides often come as rays of colour, because their frequency, their energy, their rays. So some people I know who are energy healers see their guides in colour form. It's very common with energy healers. Whereas mediums might be seeing something clairvoyantly or hear something clairaudiently. So don't dismiss your experiences. And when I first started connecting with my own spirit guides, I couldn't even see out above the feet. For months and months, I couldn't get past the feet. So just be really, really patient with it. Remember, they're in a completely different frequency, level of reality to you, and you're trying to raise your consciousness up to them as they're resonating closer to you. And it's a collaboration, it's a blending of minds. It takes them a while to build your trust, to build that familiarity, to get used to being there with you, okay? So try to be patient with yourself, because it's as much to do with your spiritual development as it is them trying to get through to you. Now, I spoke earlier about spirit guardians and spirit guides. There's many different types of spiritual beings in the spirit world. And remember, everything I teach, I have to put concepts and labels on, because I'm actually talking to your soul, which knows everything already, but your mind is busy trying to catch up with what I'm teaching and saying and put an idea or an image or an understanding on it, okay? So I tried to label different types of guides with different roles just to help you understand that the spiritual dimensions are vastly complex. There is many types of beings existing in the non-physical dimensions, just as there are many types of species existing on our planet. As above, so below. Okay. So most of us have a guide who knows that we're coming into a particular incarnation and who wants to walk with us through that lifetime, helping to keep us on track to what it was that we were drawn to or chose to experience in this life. Okay. Now, I've got so much I want to cover in this. I've got to try and keep up with it all, because I know that in this, I want to bring into the whole how to keep the doorway between yourself and spirit open safely, because obviously for your beginners here, I know that you were asking me, can I cover that as well this week? So I'm going to bring all that in. Don't let me forget. But you are safe when you work with your spirit guide, because your spirit guardian is the one, that's just the label I give it, the one who, when you've come into birth, is going to walk with you your whole lifetime. That's why I think they're more like a guardian. They're looking after you. Okay. Now, you will probably have been in some form of lifetime with them already, or have got to know them in the spirit dimensions of life already, because the two of you will have recognized that there is a joint pathway for you. Because just like there are teachers in this world who want, and mentors in this world that want to walk with us because they love us and they would always be there for us, it's the same in the spirit dimension. Okay. So your spirit guide, for me, my spirit guardian is white feather. Been there from the birth, will be there to the death. He's just walking with me. Not every second of the moment. He's not watching me while I go to toilet. Can I just put that out there? I don't want to be the spirit guide one day that's got to watch everybody else in this world do everything like that. So let's just put that out. You're safe to go to toilet, have a private moment. They're not there in the physical sense. They're there in the spiritual sense, all right? Because that's the next question. Beginners normally say, oh, they're not watching me in bed, are they? And, you know, no, doesn't work like that. But your spirit guardian is walking with you as you send your thoughts out, or then they know what you're up to at certain points in your life. They're definitely there, okay? And depending on how much you work with them and how much you develop a connection and a relationship with them will depend on how involved they get, how close they get to be able to communicate with you, okay? But there's also spirit guides. So the spirit guides are like the teachers in this world that you would see in school or university. They come in for a certain reason and they change all the way through your life. So, you know, if you're in, for instance, university as a teenager or young adult, then you may have spirit guides that are coming in to try and inspire you as you're sitting through exams and all that kind of thing, trying to help you learn, help you absorb information, or coming around willing you along if you're struggling with self-confidence or, you know, something's difficult. They'll be there trying to help you learn in that way. This is just an example. But say you become qualified and then you go into the workplace, and say you came out of university and you went into surgery, then as you're in doing surgery and helping save people's lives, there will be spirit guides that come in with the intention of helping from the spirit side of life around the operation and the theatre and in the hospitals. They wouldn't necessarily be walking with you every day. They're there for that function to help that everything goes smoothly as possible, spirit side. And so your spirit guides come in and out. So I noticed that in my spiritual journey, as I was unfolding, there were particular times in my life when I was really drawn to particular philosophies or knowledge. So I kept like seeing Buddhist monk all of a sudden. And because I kept seeing the Buddhist monk in meditation, I was being drawn to Buddhist philosophy and trying to learn about Buddhism and mindfulness and all of this kind of thing about 20 years ago, well before mindfulness was the buzzword. I kept seeing a Buddhist guide, and then people kept describing a Buddhist guide with me, and it was leading me to this knowledge. Once I'd acquired that knowledge, I don't see that Buddhist guide anymore. I always acknowledge him because he got me to where I am in my understanding, but he's gone because it's not necessary anymore. I've received that understanding and lesson. He's free to be going on and helping the next person, you know? So there will be times when, should you become spiritually developed enough to sense and feel spirit around you, your spirit guides will change. they also have a canny knack of showing you certain things in cryptic ways and then revealing a different aspect to them. So, for instance, I've got a spirit guide called Christopher who works with me. He's told me he works to do with the physical aspect of my mediumship, changing the environment, the atmosphere, depending on where I'm working at any given time, trying to help with the connection and all this kind of thing. Now, when I first saw him, he was presenting as a scientist in a white jacket. Over time, he became more and more alchemical, and I could tell he was an alchemist. And then in time, it's become. And then I went to have a reading, and the medium said to me, "You've got somebody here that showed me himself first as a scientist, but he's revealing himself actually more like a Merlin." And so they peel back certain layers of themselves over time, so that you understand deeper and deeper and deeper insights. Because don't forget, they're showing you a form that they want you to see for a purpose. And it might be that you walked in a particular time frame with them before in another life. It might be that they're showing you that image of themselves because it has meaning, as in Christopher's working with me with the atmosphere. That's his role in the environment. And it might be that, that they want to reveal a meaning. So sometimes it might be that they're coming forward with warrior energy, or so that you embody your god or goddess energy, get into your power. They're there behind you, bringing that aspect. So it can be very fantastical what they show you from time to time. You can be going into the weird and the wonderful with it, but that's because it's working with you. There's no limitations in the spirit world. We put those limitations on ourselves. So you just going to keep an open mind and just put them to the test. Now, I put my spirit guides to the test probably a bit too fervently, really, with White Feather, because I was working with him, and I felt, to be quite honest, I'm going to put it out there, I'm quite a grounded person. Kept talking about a Native American called White Feather, just didn't sit well, especially not owning it out in the public. It just seemed a bit too far at first, a stretch. But I did put him to the test. He came through many different mediums. I asked him once if he would allow me if he would let himself be drawn. I went to a psychic artist after I'd seen him. This is the really clear point. After I'd been sitting in meditation and been seeing images of him, I used to see him standing at the end of my bed anyway. So I knew what he looked like. And I went to a psychic artist, and the psychic artist drew him. Now, drew him obviously in a very animated form, but the face I would know anywhere. So, there are ways to put these things to the test, even though you can't prove your spirit guides. But once you've invested time in them, they will reveal more and more to you. Even you might hear about past lives. They might give you information. So different mediums might pick up on them. Strangers start telling you things. You might be drawn to certain things, keep seeing the same sign everywhere. Like for me, it was white feathers everywhere, They'll find a way. Now, the other way that they may use to get your attention in the physical world is through smell, which is how White Feather first did it with me. So he would bring the most pungent, stinky smell you've ever smelt in your life coming around me. It was horrible. But the purpose of that was because everyone smelt it. So I couldn't then be thinking it's just me, I'm making this up. The whole family was smelling it. And the smells are really unique. They come like this and they go like that. And smells don't do that. Smells linger. So they might bring a really strong smell in around you. Could be flowers, could be pungent herbs, could be anything, okay? You'll smell it and then it's gone. And obviously smells don't behave like that. So it'll have your attention. So the spirit guides will very gradually and slowly reveal themselves to you, but how you can help this process is by sitting in meditation regularly and learning to interpret symbolism, because they will talk to you through feelings, symbols, images, color, probably more than they'll talk to you in your head. I've got to a point now with Whitefeather where he can say something and I just know it's him. We can have a dialogue. But that wouldn't have happened off the bat because I would have thought I was literally going insane. So it started much more gradually with very physical signs for me. And then as I learned development, as I developed with my meditation, then he was able to blend closer and closer to my mind until I could then the teachings, then the words, then the channeling, then the insights was coming in. You know, they don't just put it all on a platter, unfortunately. It has to be worked at. And half of that is the fact that you've got to work at developing yourself and your mind. It's not them trying to be awkward. But they do reward dedication and commitment. When they know you're serious, they'll keep trying just like you are. And this is the other thing about spirit guides. We can put them up there on a pedestal and think that they're almost godlike, but they're just souls that are more mature or evolved or been around the block a few times more than us. And we are, anybody, you can't know yourself as evolved or a mature soul without having something to compare it with. So a more or less mature soul, so Whitefeather says for him, when he comes close to me and the circumstances around me, it's like coming close to kindergarten or nursery school, based on our level of awareness. But he can't know himself as more mature without being able to compare himself to my level of awareness. So no one is more important than the other. It's all about, as we were talking about last week, the relativity, you know. So don't put your spirit guides up there as like all seeing, all knowing. If the universe is infinite, it keeps revealing more and more. Even the spirit guides don't know everything. And sometimes we're expecting them to answer everything, to do everything for us. It can be a very one-sided relationship. I have done it, so I'm just talking about my own personal experience of saying, I need this, I need that, why aren't you there? Why aren't my links working? Why haven't I got a closer connection to spirit? Why is my money situation like this? Why have I just lost my job? If you want me to help you, why aren't you doing? You know, it's this whole barrage of me. I need help, my friends are ill, you know, the cat's got sick, the car's broken down, you know. We are constantly asking for our spirit guides' help, and they will give it. But remember, they don't start to reveal themselves without also rejoicing when you do something in service for someone else, or when you start ascending in your understanding that, I guess I think one of the biggest aha moments I ever had was I went to see a medium, a Welsh medium. I don't know if anyone's heard of him, called Stephen O'Brien. And I went to see him years ago. I'm showing my age now, probably, but I went to see him years ago. And now I was queuing up for him to sign a book of mine. And up until then, I'd seen Whitefeather. I'd received readings from a medium telling me about him. I'd been smelling him. I'd had all sorts of kind of physical phenomena going on. And I'd got to the point where I was like, oh, I've got a spirit guide. This spirit guide is looking after me. How lucky am I? I've got someone walking through life with me. Okay. And then the medium said to me, I can see your spirit guide there. He looks very much like mine. He's got a similar name to my spirit guide. And I got all excited because I'm like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And Stephen O'Brien said, what are you going to do about it? Just in that one sentence, I thought, oh yeah, it's not about me, is it? It's not about me. But what if this spirit guide came here because there was something I'm supposed to be doing with my spirit guide? So remember, they're coming in service, and any life that you live, anything that you can do in life that is in service is always going to raise you up and take you into higher experience, higher understanding. And then they'll be working with you as well as they can to give you the circumstances you need to see you grow. So Don't be putting them on a pedestal. Ask for their help. They've got real insight and wisdom. They'll inspire you wherever they can, but they can't do it for you. And they will put you in your place. So, you know, if I'm over demanding, or if I throw my toys out the pram, White Feather has passed on a communication to me where he said, I walk with you, not for you. Okay. So spirit guides are there like we are with our friends and nurturers, supporting. You know, we've all had a friend, haven't we, that is, dare I say it, needy. You know, I need this, I need that, I can't get on with my life. Why me? Why is it me? Why has it always happened to me? You know, typical life, isn't it? You know, this kind of friend who you are offering your best wisdom to, and it doesn't matter what you say, they don't do anything. They don't take your advice. They don't action your good ideas, because they don't actually really want to fix it. What they want is just to be able to talk with you, pull your energy out of you, feel better about themselves for a couple of minutes, go off and do their own thing. And they've become very identified with the drama in their lives. So what we don't want to do is become that to the spirit guides. We don't just want to use them as a sounding board. Yes, we can use them as that. But if they give us some insight or some wisdom or some, you know, inspiration, sometimes we have to put ourselves out and put ourselves in the uncomfortable zone to make change in our lives, because they're trying to suggest, but they can't do it for us. And they won't. Because what's the point? They might as well be in the physical form and you in spirit. So once you start to understand, can anyone see that? My lights just went woof really hard. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, that my lights are down and they just have literally gone, at the minute I said that, they've gone up massive. They will do everything they can to inspire, guide and support you, just like you are trying to do for your needy friends. But you know, at the end of the day, I can't do it for you. Only you can do it. And when you're ready to do something, I'll help you, but I can't do anything unless you make the decision to make the shift and the change. So this is the same with the spirit guides, okay? And remember that they're getting something out of this interaction, not just you. And that's the best way to work with them. Ask them, take on board their advice, but still question for yourself. You don't have to accept everything they say as gospel. They probably are right, because they've got the bigger vantage point than you. But that doesn't mean that you have to do everything they say and give your power away. I guess what I'm trying to say is you are a spirit form with divine source power within you, just as equal to the guides. So you come to them with respect, but don't give your power away. Okay, and I think this is probably why a lot of teachings, if you look at religious texts, they tell you not to consult with mediums and get addicted to readings and take the advice of spirits, because ultimately the religious philosophies are trying to get you in touch with source, which they may call God, whatever you want to use it, so that you understand and realize your divinity, your true self. So a spirit guide's doing a good job when they are leading you back to you. A medium is doing a good job when they're leading you back to you, so that you don't need the medium. But I can see why a lot of religious texts are trying to get people to not get addicted to readings, and because you're putting your power in someone's hands. You know, we've all done it. I love readings. We've all been there, and the medium has said, oh, in a year's time, I can see that this beautiful woman or this handsome man is going to come into your life. You know, you're going to feel like one. Do you know what I mean? Or the job opportunity changes. You wait in, 5 years as you look back your career path. And we've all done it. We're kind of inadvertently putting our power in the hands of what we've been told, rather than taking our power. So the best way to use a reading to your advantage is not to go to a reading to be told what to do, but just to go to a reading just like you would go to a loved one and seek advice or counsel from someone wiser, and then use your own thoughts and wisdom to make your own decisions so that you grow. Then it's really powerful. And they're really powerful healing tools. Contact with spirit guides can be very powerful healing tools. If you know that you don't die, if they've given you hope, if they've given you some kind of understanding philosophically, if they've helped you see into your life path, or given you understanding of why it was that you had that really difficult mother like I have. You know, the one, you know, it's the
on that note, I'm just going to tell you, you've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. I knew you'd chime in. The boss mum. Yeah, but you got the, you know, they help you understand why a spirit guide can help you understand why you've come into these difficult situations, what it is your soul's trying to learn and gain, so that you grow quicker. That's the best way to use them, okay? Same with angels, same with angelic beings, same with crystalline beings, same with all the councils that you might bump up against as well in the spiritual dimensions that no mediums of traditional training ever talk about, but which you will find you bump up against. You know, there's many types of intelligence out there with lots of different functions and reasons and insight to share. And there's people, I've even discovered, Whitefeather's shown me that there are councils that he connects into, that he gets permission from to bring certain amount of information into our planet when we're ready, or to me. So it sounds very hierarchical, but it isn't, because just remember, like I said, it's all about relativity. And as much as you got someone ascended, it's just as important you have this process of recycling where you have people that are just enjoying Love Island and pie and chips. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Okay? There's nothing wrong in that if you're happy in it. So we shouldn't judge and think, oh, I'm so spiritual. I know my spirit guides and they're sitting there half asleep, which we all do, don't we? You know, but they're showing us who we are. They're a reflection to us of who we are. So, you know, this is why spirit guides can come with unconditional love and non-judgment. They have that full understanding of everything is perfect, even when it's not perfect, even when it's horrible. Duality. So you can't just in the final moments of this talk, I hope it's been helpful. Does it help people understand spirit guides a bit and feel more comfortable with them? When we've done a practical hands-on, remember, I teach full days of spirit guides. So this is a whistle-stop tour. Lots of different ways and techniques that you can use to build your connection visually, sensory, you know, hearing. There's lots of things you can do to bring your spirit guides in. There are many types of spirit guides, but, you know, it's 25 years I've still been getting to know mine. It's a lifetime's journey. But I know some of you are worried about, how do I safely then open up the doorway to myself and my spirit guides without letting others in? So what I want to stipulate, you know, at the beginning where I set the intention, I basically was saying any communication that I receive today from the spirit world that we experience is going to be done in truth, in light and in love. Otherwise, I don't accept it. It's going to be done with my best interests at heart, with the highest of intentions. And so I'm already putting the frequency of my receiving body, because your body is the receptor, your mind is the receiver, your brain. I'm saying only that frequency and nothing else. Okay? And I'm saying I want the spirit guides, and I'm setting that intention. And I'm in control of my vessel. So I'm already saying I'm only going to accept that or nothing else. Just like if you were on your phone and strangers contacted you, if you picked it up and you thought, I don't want to talk to you, you'd hang up. It's the same thing with mediumship. I'll accept that or won't accept anything else. The other thing that you can do is get yourself into the highest state of emotional well-being that you can. I know we all have stressful days and there'll be better days than not, but half of the reason why when I'm doing a meditation with you as a group is that I take the light through and I cleanse your chakras and I lift you up into higher states of being, is I know that as I'm taking you in your mind into a higher state of being, that you are moving into higher frequency emotions and meeting the higher realms of spirit. So I'm surfing you over the lower realms, so you won't even be in resonance with them. Remember, this is all energy work, okay? So you don't even need to worry. If ever you feel uncomfortable, if ever you feel like, oh, you know, am I fearful? I'm frightened of opening the doorway here between myself and the other world. Just close it down, go away, come back and do it. Say, no, that's it, I can't do it today. I'm going to close the doorway. I ask all the spirit world to go back to where they reside. You know, where I'm sitting is free of any connection. I'm closing that doorway between my mind and myself, and then go and do something else completely different. It's simple. The people that get stuck are the ones who haven't taken control of their own mind and spirit. And remember, your spirit, you're just as powerful, you're just as indestructible, but your mental state of being is so important. So if you know that you're not feeling great, or you're going through depression, it doesn't mean you can't connect with spirit, because that's part of your healing. But what I'm trying to say is probably best not to be going out in the world being a medium when you're resonating in deep depression, because then you are connecting with different levels of awareness, okay? Because your own state of being is in a different place. But you don't even have to be fearful of that, because when you know that's the case, and knowledge is power, you can think, yeah, but I know that, and I still don't accept anything else other than what is for my highest interest. Do you see what I mean? So I never fear spirit communication. I've been pregnant, I've had babies, I've worked the whole way through it. I've never worried that I'm going to be pulling in lower frequency energies. Let's face it, it's all around us, as above, so below. But when you understand that my intentions, my power, my own self is just as powerful, I don't accept any of that, then you are in a position where there's nothing to fear. Fear is pulling to you fear. Just going to bring that into your experience. Like when you see teenagers at a Ouija board, they're there, but they want a frightening experience. At the end of the day, they want something to happen, and they all want to squeal. You know, for me, I'm coming to it because I want higher wisdom. I want insight, philosophy. I want love. I want to feel elated, blissful, pulled up to higher, you know, feelings of divine power, whatever you want to put it. That's what I'm aligning with. When I'm working with clients, I'm working with, I want to help heal. I want to bring peace of mind. I want to say something that is going to be inspirational, motivational, you know, catalytic in helping somebody see or perceive life in a different way so that they can feel better. That's a high frequency intent. That's what I'm going to attract, okay? So you set the intention, you take control of your own personal responsibility for your well-being, and you'll be fine. And if you can't, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to do it. No one's forcing you. But you are spirit. Your spirit, you are that anyway. Okay? So before we come to a close, because we are bang on, the spirit guides are keeping to time tonight. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask? Have I covered it? Has it been helpful? Just as quick as possible? No? Helen Marsh, go on, I can see one finger. What do you...
I can't find the hand symbol. I'm just interested to know, you know, when we talk, because you've read from me before and know that I think in a very human, literal sense.
Yeah.
When we're talking about lower energies, then are we, you know, in the sort of the religious texts that interpret that as hell almost? Is it sort of like when you pass over your state of mind, you get what your state of mind is mirrored back at you? Do you know what I mean? Because you're in that state in your mind, so therefore you kind of ascend to that level of
understanding. It's more not even so much a level of mind, but a level of being. Okay.
Yeah.
So because we covered, didn't we, a few weeks ago, if somebody had a mental illness, that's an illness. That's not going to necessarily dictate their experience in spirit. There have been occasions, and I know people are wanting me to talk about this maybe next week. I've seen it on the WhatsApp group about, you know, where it's necessary for a medium to help coach somebody over who is deciding not to cross. I will cover that as another subject entirely, but your state of being really dictates where you are going, okay? Because like attracts like, just like in this world, it's just as above, so below, okay? So like attracts like. So as we've all attracted to each other and we're all coming together and we can all be very loving and caring to one another, we can have a WhatsApp group, we can all be really respectful, and we're not going, you silly idiot for bringing up that very stupid question. You know, we'd never talk like that to each other. You're already resonating with and drawing to you the people that you are most in alignment with. Exactly the same. Oh, where's she gone? She's moved on my screen. Does that make sense, Helen?
Yeah, it's like you are responsible for creating your own reality, aren't you? Whether it's physically or...
You are doing it now. This is what I keep trying to say. You are spirit.
Yeah.
You're doing it now. You continue to do it in spirit. It's no different. Life is a continuum. The only difference is your experience in spirit will be a whole lot more mind-blowing because you won't be filtering it all out through the physical body. So it'll be completely different. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you've got your logical thinking brain. That's why I like you, Helen. You like me. It's like, I need to understand this.
Question.
Well, it just keeps opening up more and more, doesn't it? You know, but there's no silly question. Right. Was anyone okay? Jane, hello. You're looking so comfortable. Don't forget to unmute. Have you got it off? No? I can't hear you, Jane. It's good. I'll tell you what, I'll do it. There you are, go on.
Okay, just a quick one. Could you explain a bit more, like some people that are energy healers see colours as spirit guides? My experience has been seeing because I work as a healer, and when I started healing more often in that, I started seeing a kind of marble, it's like a white marble statue, which I connect to as a guide. But is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Yeah, it can be that. Yes, of course. Exactly. They're going to show you something that is going to be relevant, symbolic, and that you'll understand. So the marble would have been white, I'm guessing, with grey or silver running through it. Like marble.
It was marbly. I suppose I've connected quite a lot with Buddhism.
Okay.
And it was like a cross-legged Buddha, whereas normally I'd see a Buddha as kind of gold. That is how I would.
That's your expectation.
Yeah, that's my expectation. But what I was seeing was a white marble cross-legged Buddha.
There you are. Perfect. Cross-legged, grounded. The whole stance there is the lotus stance of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And the marble, the white of spirit, stone, solid, you know, there for you.
Yeah.
Marble's a hard stone.
Yeah.
It stands the test of time. So seeing something like that, it's understanding the symbolism. So you weren't actually seeing in colour, you were seeing clairvoyantly. Some people expect, some energy healers literally see rays of colour. They're not mediumistic.
Okay.
No, they're not mediumistic, but they literally will close their eyes and they'll see this ray or a gold ray or a silver ray or a rainbow, and then they know, okay, they're in, and that's the frequency I've got to work on. My guides are here, off I go. And they. So
you're saying that's clairvoyant? Yeah, that's because I'm seeing a symbol. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Anything you see in your mind's eye, even when you see the colour, is clairvoyance, because that just means clear seeing. So if you're seeing a colour, if you're seeing the symbol, that's still using clairvoyance. You're not feeling the colour. You can actually feel colours. That's clairsentience. So you're using your clairvoyance. You've just got to learn how to interpret it and understand it for you. But that's great what you got.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
We've got time for one more, I reckon. Jan?
Just a quick question. In the meditation, I encountered something, a creature that I've never encountered before. I don't know how to interpret that. I mean, it doesn't speak English. I mean, how will I know it's going to come into my feelings? I mean, I guess I'm confused as to why I saw it and how it's going to relate to me and how I'm going to relate to it.
Okay, so kind of creature, fantastical creature or animalistic creature?
No, it's a realistic, except it's not normal size.
But so what
It's a bug,
was
a big bug, a great big bug.
bug? What bug?
Huge bug.
Beetle?
A bug.
What kind of, like a bug, like a fly, or a bug like a beetle?
So like a dragonfly, but it's standing up like a person.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so the reason I'm asking you that is, if you look online after this, you will see what the meaning of dragonfly means. So like I'm saying, beetle means resurrection, protection, eternal life. So dragonfly and butterfly normally come in at the same kind of resonance, mean the same thing, of transformation and the afterlife. So because obviously the butterfly starts off as a caterpillar and turns into a butterfly. So it shows after, so they can show themselves as people. And show
the bug was upright like a person. And
yeah, that's right. It's the symbolism of it, Jan. So when you find out what dragonfly means, it probably means that your guide is showing you, I'm here with this symbolism for you. I'm a person, I'm a guide, showing you myself in dragonfly form. This is what I'm saying to you. It can seem weird and wonderful. You won't necessarily see a miner from the coal mines coming to guide you.
I never encountered it before, and I never encountered a bug before.
That's why you can trust it, because you know you wouldn't have made it up, and you wouldn't have, if you had made something up, made up a bug dragonfly man. So you need to look up the symbolism of dragonfly, and just know that your spirit guide is male, showing himself to you with the qualities or the reason behind what dragonfly means. He might not always show himself in that way, or you might start to see dragonflies.
Or it might be female. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Well, or female.
It was just a being. It was a being that was telling to me something. It was coming to me.
When you, oh look, Lisa said she had a bug as well. So the dragonfly symbolizes transformation and adaptability. Thank you, Helen Marsh. So when you look it up, there will be, you've done very well, Jan, because there will be symbolism and meaning behind what you saw, and your guide is showing you something you're going to understand. Remember that.
Thank you.
And that you won't expect, it's not going to be how you expect it. And this is why you then you're able to trust the connection, because you will see stuff that will be weird and wonderful, blow your mind, and you'll think, I know, I did not make that up. There's a collaboration going on here.
Yeah, because the other thing is, like, this time of the year in the United States, or where we live, there's no dragonflies flying around. So I don't, anyway.
No, well, it will feel like you're making it up. You'll start to question yourself. Did I imagine that? How do I understand it? Okay, this is how spiritual enlightenment and your third eye works. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm very late on time. Melissa, what were you going to ask?
It's very, very quick. It was just to Jan, just to say that it might also be something that sort of becomes clear, because I had a similar thing where, and I'd never had it in a journey a while ago, where I had a hummingbird, and then when I was looking for going to look at a house potentially to move into, the first thing I saw when I walked into the living room was hummingbird wallpaper. And it was like, it was such a sort of confirmation of I had no idea what it had meant at the time. But then when I saw the hummingbird wallpaper in the house, I knew that was the house I was going to buy. So it was kind of like just taking it totally out of context. It might come totally left field. And you know exactly what it's meant to mean for you, I think.
And that goes for everybody here. Every time we ask a question, someone is learning. So we have come to time